What's going on, y'all? Got these in the mail today. These are called Timbrens. So here's what they look like. They're not bolted up tightly. I kind of left them loose. They come in 3 different pieces that you have to assemble, but this is what it looks like when it's assembled. It bolts completely through. It's got this little hockey puck looking piece that bolts into the bracket, and then this bolts to the chassis of the truck, and this sits on the axle. So what this is going to do is prevent it from squatting so much. It's going to give it better stability, and it's also going to prevent it from making all this weird sound that it's making. What it's doing is it's almost to the point where it's sitting on the overload springs, but they're not. So when they hit bumps, they're touching the overload springs every now and then, which makes like this loud chattering sound, and it's annoying. So a while back, after we got the bed built and we got our setup going, we wanted to weigh it to see if we're up to specs of the truck. And I think with this setup, it weighs like 10,250 pounds. It does fine. Like I said, it just makes that chattering sound, which is annoying. And I've heard these help a whole lot, and we're gonna see. So we got an 11/16 bolt that bolts all the way through the hockey puck and into this bracket right here. It's just a welded nut. And that's torqued to specifications right there. 72.7 pounds.
Oh, it's definitely in the air now. Yes, it is.
So that's the things that you have to remove, and the Timbrens replace it. And as you can see, it's a good ways from the axle, like 4 inches it looks like. Alright, hopefully you can see this and it has enough light. This is what we're removing. It's just got a, let's see, what size is that, a 5/8? 5/8 wrench. Got all kind of cables and harnesses and everything in the way. And you can't move the wrench but like a 1/2 inch at a time, and it's very aggravating. Of course, the other side over here doesn't have anything. We'll see. Keep you posted.
Jason just got these off. You see how much smaller they are?
So whenever you remove them, you can see it's got this little nipple poking out that sticks in into the chassis. It's got another one right here, so you want to put it the same way when you bolt it up. And it's got a 11/16 nut and washer. It goes on top, lock nut right here. So Christina came help put this one in because we have all these harnesses and cables in the way. It's a lot easier if somebody can get on the front of the axle to get to it. But we got this one installed, and as you can see on the perch down here, we got maybe 3/8 of an inch. That's what you're gonna need in order to to bolt it up. You gotta jack it up enough to get that bolt through the chassis. So when you lower it back down, it's going to be touching. And they say you want to leave a gap between here for when the truck is unloaded. But this is a chassis cab truck, and it's got a heavy body on it. So it's always got a payload on it. So it's going to be touching all the time. We'll move on to the other side. Passenger side's got a lot more room. Still, it's kind of difficult to take off with that lock nut. I hate lock nuts because they're just a pain. They do what they're supposed to do, but I'd much rather a lock washer or a jam nut. Alright, got the passenger side in. It took both of us, one of us holding it in place and the other tightening it down with a wrench. You could probably do it by yourself, but it was very difficult. Didn't take that long, it's just awkward, I guess you'd say. I'll show you what it looks like from the back real quick. Alright, so that's the passenger side. Driver's side. Alright, we're going to pull the jack stands out and lower it down and see what she does.
It's a little less squat, huh?
Yep. So we're going to go under the truck and show you where the overload spring is now. Before, I think it had like 1/8 of an inch gap.
Can't really see it, but I can now stick my hand in between it. It's not touching at all the overload spring, so.
So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I sure can. The nose is like way down in the front. I can see a lot more of the highway now. Alright. I mean, it feels way more stable. That noise you're hearing is mud getting kicked off. It rained a lot last night.
I hardly feel the back at all.
Still making a noise, but it's much better. What'd you think?
I think it feels more solid.
A lot more stable. Feels taller too, like in the back. You can definitely feel the height. And you can see more of the road. Cool beans.